who have years of experience managing business at the enterprise level. Okay. So they build the product with the same mindset. So any software product is designed for primary three category of customer. A bottommost category where you solve your day-to-day business problems, like various ERP products, which manage your day-to-day activities, finance, HR, marketing, procurement. And then you have a solution we designed for a specific department, right? For a specific business. So for example, you're working for an aviation industry. You need to prepare a solution to be used exclusively for supply chain, exclusively for cleaning department. So there's a product specialized for an individual department. Okay, this department solution. Where we work at the topmost layer in an organization, where your all senior executive works, CAO, CFO, CAO, director of finance, you know. And what do they do? All the business decision making is being done at topmost layer. The decision they do it, that is called strategic decision making. All the business strategy they decide at this layer. And any company failed, probably come in your mind. That's Big Bazaar or Jet Airways or blah blah blah. Right? The problem actually starts from the topmost layer because the two company with the same product, similar product and service, one is getting failed, another one is still, working the market. So obviously there's something wrong in the strategic layer. So we are the people who facilitate those people, they are called who perform a strategic decision making. We are the people who facilitate them taking up the decision, right? So the product is, it used to call BPM, called business performance management. Some vendor use a term called corporate performance management. Some people use enterprise performance management. So different vendor use a different term. But at the end of the day, the final takeaway is we are creating a report card or a system through which people can see any organization performance, right? We generate those numbers and help them. The second thing about this, which one should know, is Oracle EPM is not one product, right? So for a customer and for a business, they are two different things. For a customer is a one product. For example, you are a customer and you want to buy a car, a passenger car. A car is a one product for you. But for a manufacturing company, it's not a one product. They purchase tire from one company, they got entertainment system from another company, they got engine from another company. So they bought the product from disparate company, various company, and they assemble it and offered you as a one user, one product. The same applies to EPM. So if you are a chief finance officer, you're a director of finance or some strategic decision making job, then for EPM is designed to address various problems. Okay, let me give a quick note about the problem you being a CFO needs to handle in your day-to-day job. So you need a solution for reporting and analysis, right? So that you can do decision making, day-to-day decision making, right? Or annual decision making or strategy decision making. Okay. So when you do day-to-day decision making, it comes from here, a product called BIP, BI Publisher. So this is a reporting tool for transactional data. We don't work at this layer, called BI Publisher. Is one of the product from Oracle, BIP, from Oracle solution point of view. But I'm talking about reporting analysis at the topmost layer. Okay. Product profitability, customer report, and blah, blah. Then the area which we are going to talk about is the planning and budgeting, right? And all of you guys already know planning, budgeting to some extent. If any one of you have done any sizable investment in your career, probably you purchase a house or a car, until you are a super rich, definitely you need to do some financial planning for this. So visualize it, what type of planning you did when you purchase a house, right? So doing your house purchase, whatever planning you would have done, financial planning, you can visualize a similar kind of planning corporates do, but it in much more complicated term, right? Then the other product for a group of company called financial consolidation. People need to do text automation. profitability and cost management, account. These are different problems. So your product also communicate to different products. Yeah, in planning and budgeting, there's an enterprise solution, right? So you probably communicate your product in turn communicates or exchange data with financial consolidation and FCCS. So there are a lot of data exchange take place. When you are a consultant for an entire EPM product, you know the entire system. Probably if you're new to the system, it's little difficult to talk about that. Okay. But what I want you to know that in the entire system, there's an exchange, there's communication taking place across different product. Okay. Now, from a technical solution point of view, from where the entire system starts. So any company, popping up in your mind who have been doing business in the industry, an enterprise company, right? Not a small shop. Any company in the world who doing business in the ecosystem, right? They need different software application to run their business. The first software when you start your business is ERP. Right? Now look at this product adaptability is very important thing between ERP and EPM. Okay? Now imagine you are going to start a manufacturing company in India or anywhere in the world, doesn't matter. When you're starting a manufacturing company at, so this is I'm going to create a graph. This represents your growth, right? So growth may be in terms of revenue, in terms of headcount, in terms of average order size, whatever way you like to evaluate the growth, right? And this is your timeline. How do you grow? Okay. So suppose you start your business at T0 time. I put some number, T0, T1, T2. When people buy the product, let's say T1, T2, T3, some imaginary dates, T4, T5, like that. Okay. So when you start your business, what do you need to run your business? You need typical manufacturing company. You need a system where you can perform your day-to-day activities like order processing, managing your accounting, finance, and so on. Okay. So T0 time, T1 time, you don't need EPM. You don't need strategic decision making. Okay. So you need an ERP system, right? Anything you imagine for managing your order processing, accounting, whatever it is, order processing, accounting, payroll generation, all you do it at T1 time, right? And then your business gradually grow, right? So I put various timeline. So your business grown up in terms of number of headcounts, you reach 1,000 employees, then T3 time, the company has an acquisition, T4 time, and so on. Okay. And after a certain time, your company reach to a curve called stability curve, right? Where your company is stable enough doing business comfortably, right? And their BAU, business as usual. So let's say from T1 time to T4 time, okay, the company has grown up. But during this time period, let me use, I need more space. Whatever decision making you're doing, strategic decision making, right? What product you should buy, from where you should buy raw material, how many employees you should hire, everything. You do all the strategic decision making. You don't need a sophisticated software because you are a relatively small company. You are doing it in Excel. So you do spreadsheet based data analytics. You do spreadsheet based, you know, EPM. You do it in Excel. Okay. So you're happy using Excel because that is adequate to solve your problem. But at T5 time, by this time, your company become large enough. Let's say by this time, imagine by this time you have become a group of company, right? And your group of 30 companies. And your business become relatively complicated. You spread across multiple location, your business spread across various location, various countries. You're using various accounting rules, various product line, and so on. Countries, product line, accounting rules. I mean, your business become grown up. Then you cannot use this, manage this through Excel. So the one I drawn with blue color, T1 to T4, time you are working on Excel. This is perfectly fine. But at T4, T5 time, you're bound, not choice, by choice. You're bound to move away from Excel because Excel, you reach to Excel bandwidth and you need some sophisticated software. I'm not saying Oracle, any company software you need to perform your strategy decision making. Okay. So this is where we come into picture. This is Oracle EPM space. So the first important takeaway for you, you being an Oracle EPM consultant, your career, your product migration start from, and your job start from, people are using spreadsheet based planning and budgeting, right? And you convert this from Oracle EPM based planning and budgeting. So you are not reinventing wheel. You don't go to the business and tell them, well, I am a superhero. I am going to design your business solution for you. Of course not, right? So from a spreadsheet based or Excel based planning and budgeting to Oracle EPM based planning and budgeting you do, right? So we are not a guy who reinvent something. We don't reinvent or reinvent the wheel. We help organization to convert the existing system into planning, right? So therefore, the first skill you need working into planning, right? I put over here skills over here as well. Working into planning, the first skill you need, Oracle EPM consultant, and more precisely, I say, or EPM, planning and budgeting consultant. The first skill I want you need to Excel. I don't want you to teach you Excel, but basic Excel, right, which you use in day-to-day life. In fact, during our training program, I'll be using Excel extensively. We'll create a lot of user stories, data validation, UAT, data validation. A lot of things we do it in Excel. So we create all this. We create a problem statement in Excel, right? The second skill, in fact, I would put in terms of order, right? If I put it in terms of order, the first skill you need, which nobody tells you, right? You learn with time. And that is not whatever I'm talking about, they are not documented in Oracle because Oracle documentation is all about how to use product. Think like a planner, think like a business user, right? If you think to understand my pain, you have to be in my shoes, right? You think like a business user. Who are the user? They are planners, they are budget manager, they are controllers, they're called financial controllers. So there are different job roles. So we work for a vertical that is called FP&A, that is called financial planning and analysis. So this is an irony in industry. People learn software product and they assume they become a consultant. That's not true, right? So when you know any software product, you know software. You don't know, you are not a consultant. What is the difference? I'll tell you. The third skill, think like a business user. Third, then you need a skill. You need an Oracle planning skill. So what is planning skill? People assume and what is the real need and what is industry requirement. Look at this. So if you know how to use Oracle planning, then I don't consider this a skill anymore, right? Why? Because the interface is so much simplified for intuitive, and therefore there is absolute no need. Unfortunately, there's absolute no need to be a you don't need company don't need a technical consultant to do this job, right? The interface is so much simple and intuitive, or user interface. Even a high school pass student can do this job. Right? Or they don't need an IT specialist to do this job. Why would I hire? Which I can train my accountant, business analyst do this job, they can do this job, right? The real skill is actually to be a consultant, is not how to use a product. And you don't need to spend time and money for this. Go to YouTube, there are tons of Oracle videos available, right? But people are not interested to know how you to use planning application. Anybody can go to documentation, see this job. The problem is not that. The problem is how to solve business problems using Oracle planning. how to use a product. That is what we learn with experience. This comes with experience or professional training like that. How to solve business problem using this tool. That is our focus. That's what we are going to talk about right from the first day. Okay. Now, Oracle documentation is great, but Oracle documentation is only focusing on this. We talk about how to use tool. That's it. That's it. But if you like to know how to use Oracle planning in healthcare industry, or probably how to use Oracle planning to perform compensation planning or salary planning, you probably don't have any answer in Oracle documentation. This is where the industry is lagging. Okay. So let's see how to, first we look at little technical part of it and then I nail down. Our focus area is this. Okay. And we come into picture, our job come into picture when business exhausted, given up, or compelled, or realize that they cannot use Excel any further. Correct. And I tell you, I am into business and I speak to business executives day in, day out. The kind of job I do, a very big circle. Okay. So I speak to business. I exactly know what they need. But unfortunately, being a technical developer, we don't have kind of mindset. Tuning your mindset is one of my job. Okay. So from a technology point of view, your story starts from you have a lot of ERP systems. If you're working for a company, like imagine you are working for a group of company like Tata Group, right? So our solution, especially planning and budgeting, like Tata Group has got three companies: Tata Motors, Tata Consulting Services, and Tata Housing. Oracle planning may work or an individual subsidiary can work at this layer, or Oracle planning may work for a group of companies. Oracle planning may work at both layer. Unlike in other product like Oracle financial consolidation works only at group of company. It doesn't work for individual company. I mean, it really makes no sense. We work at both layer, Oracle planning. Okay. So if you're working for a group of companies, I mean, you're handling more complicated problem. For a group of company, you have different companies, different currencies, different language, different accounting rules, different payroll taxes, different, right? It's a challenging. So when you're working on larger system, you have multiple types of ERP system, then you have data acquisition layer or data governance layer. Our solution sitting on top of that. So ERP work at this layer, we work on EPM layer. So anybody who has got ERP knowledge prior to this job is a big value addition, big value addition. Right? That's big because you understand how the core system works. So even if you have no knowledge about ERP, no problem. Right? But as a part of your job role, you would be communicating with the people who brings data for you, who work at data governance layer. You would be communicating with the ERP team, right? So a little bit knowledge would be a value addition. Now, this is what I was talking about. CFO have a various problem to solve. And Oracle EPM, rather Hyperion, is a smart company. 25 years before they they recognized, they understood there's a problem. Rather, 30 years before they understood this problem and they started building a product. But Hyperion, being a relatively small company with a limited focus, limited resources, they build moderate product. But Oracle is a company who recognize their potential. They are smart people who acquire this company and in turn build a complete big ecosystem. So the first solution, they have reporting analysis. Well, all of you know that business to take a decision, you need a data, information that you get from here. And the area of our working, we are going to work on planning and budgeting, right? But it doesn't mean you're working on planning and budgeting, then you don't bother about other product. You do need to bother about other product as well. Because not now, probably later, right? When you grow up on your EPM career ladder, when you become a real consultant with senior consultant with 10-year experience, you should know how your product is going to communicate with financial consolidation and flows cloud. There are two bi-directional communication. How your product is going to communicate with other product, right? So this is something lined up. May not be now, probably spend 8, 10 years with the solution. That would be part of your skill. I mean, next 10-year vision, 10, 15-year vision, I give it to you. You need to have skills of 3, 4 product. I mean, this is a kind of product which sit in the heart of the business. Heart of the business, it means business needs EPM inevitably, no debate about it, right? Because as a company, you bound to file your taxes. As a company, you need to do reporting analysis. I'm not saying Oracle EPM. It may be different EPM from different vendor, right? The EPM, you need this, right? So a different product. You see this cubes, these are called, this is S-based engine or a database, right? Like a traditional database designed for all business logics calculation is being done over here. Your presentation layer or your interface is just to communicate. Right? Now I'll nail down to this and let's take this in a greater detail. So from a solution point of view, three solutions we're talking about. Uh, I draw over here. Let me draw a line. Beyond this line, I'm talking about Oracle planning. Take you to this. So what is written in 50-page book, I'll show the same thing with one simple diagram. Okay. All right. So this is your solution. Okay. Now, as a consultant, what type of job you're going to do? There are three possibilities when you get a job, okay, or probably looking for a job. Possibility number one, the customer is going to implement planning and budgeting for the first time. First time means it is unlike I started my business today and I want planning tomorrow. It is highly unlikely. Okay. So I call this new initiative and your implementation consultant. This is such a value. I mean, it's a bit difficult job, honestly. Okay. People probably can claim they are an implementation consultant, but it's a bit difficult job because you need to understand business and build solution. But here in my training program, I'll be talking about implementation. So I'll be teaching you various techniques through, how to do user query, CRPs, called conference room pilot, product demonstration, how to capture requirement from the customer. And not only capture requirement, I'll give you templates which you can use in your project, right? That is why you're for professional training. Otherwise, you can go to YouTube and learn on your own. You should get some value. So I'll give you templates, right? How to capture requirement and everything what customer need to start implementing this product. How to do user acceptance testing, unit testing, user stories, how to prepare user stories, okay, requirement, all those stuff. Then it comes to the second kind of job you get. So probably you're going to work for KPMG, Deloitte, Huron, PwC, EY, Big Fours, or Huron, some company. These are the more specialized into implementation because they want more money, right? They're big system and implementation give you more money as a company or as a consultant. So if you're looking for higher growth, right? If you're experienced consultant, probably your focus area should be in implementation, especially if you're 10-year plus experience into IT world. The second possibility you're going to work the post implementation. Companies like PCS, Infosys, Tech Mahindra, all these companies are because they lack of skills, unfortunately. Okay. And having consultant who have implementation experience, the expectations are high, 50, 60, 70 lakh rupees package. Service company won't like to pay that much money. So they are more like a floor sweeping activity, low cost solution, post implementation, which you call support job, like application support job. So probably you're starting your career into Oracle EPM. I suggest you start with Oracle applicant support job, right? That is easy way. So what you do day-to-day fixes, right? Little bit, some enhancement. You do this over here. So you basically in IT world, you solve tickets. In this training program, once you're done with training, I'll give you 100 common tickets, common, which any business needed this. When I say common means I keep on doing this job for many two decades, 20 years, and I keep on collecting, common issues. And over the period of time, I build 100 tickets, which you solve these tickets. It is equal to 5 years of experience. I mean, this is a time taken job, right? It will take you 6 months of time. This 6 month time to solve tickets is equal to 5 years experience. Working into support job for 5 years, what kind of problem you encounter? The same problem I compacted into this 100 tickets. The second possibility. Third possibility, that kind of customer you get, uh, the customer is have been using their old customer of Oracle planning. They're using Oracle planning on-prem solution, on-premise solution. Okay. Or they're using Space, old generation, probably they implemented Hyperion planning in 2004, implemented Space. Almost 21 years before. And they are pretty happy with Space. They're a small company, don't feel like moving away from on-prem. But Oracle say, well, we are going to sunset this. And imagine you are paying X amount, your, let's say, worst case, your annual cost of owning this system, this annual cost, lower side, is $300,000. Why don't you move to cloud? Move to cloud. This is how you're going to lure customer. Because customer would get lured by cost, right? Reduce this $300,000 to $100,000, 1,000, one third. This is how cloud is costing, right? So this the moment customers see cost saving factor, they immediately get lured. They don't get lured or what do you get attracted by all this fancy technical word, but for sure when it comes to money, business get attracted. Third possibility, you are working from a consultant point of view migration project called on-prem to cloud. You go to Naukri.com or any job portal. You see Oracle is posting almost every second day. Every second day Oracle posting requirement. And if you if you're into probably HR job role and you want a consultant who have got migration experience on-prem to cloud, you hardly get 20 profiles. Hardly. I'm not exaggerating. You can do it practically. You can do some dummy posting. You do the job posting. You hardly get 20 profiles who have got this experience. Okay. This is called a skill gap, the real life skill gap. So three kind of my training program I talk about new implementation. Once implementation is done, how do you do day-to-day job or migration? So there's a wider spectrum from a career or job point of view. Okay. Now, what this product, there are two kind of solution we have here. Let's go into that. So Oracle called this solution called PBCS and EPBCS. You probably have seen the training program name, PBCS and EPBCS. What is PBCS? Okay. And then I show you what you do in planning, okay, from an end user point of view. So we have a two solution. First is called PBCS, Planning and Budgeting Cloud System. PBCS called Planning and Budgeting Cloud Service. It is a cloud, right? The second solution we have, the PBCS like a custom solution. You're building up something from the ground up. Custom solution, right? Now I give you layman example. Imagine, please feel this story. You want a sofa set furniture for your home, right? Sofa set for your home. So this is your requirement. You want a sofa set for your home, which should match your interior, your wall color, right? You have certain taste, certain design in your mind. What do? You have two choice. When you want custom solution, you go to carpenter, show the picture. I want a sofa set like this. The carpenter asks you to buy this raw material. You buy raw material, give the carpenter, and carpenter, based on your design, they build a product for you. There's a time taken process and pain associated, right? You go and buy raw material. You have to research and look at which sofa set is good for your. There's an adequate amount of research required. And for sure, you don't get a sofa set exactly the way you show the picture to the carpenter. There is always certain variation, maybe 1 or 2%, some variation. The same pain associated with PBCS. Because planning and budgeting is custom solution is business specific. It's a business specific solution, right? Which means it works in a different way. Healthcare industry works in a different way. Aviation works in a different way. Manufacturing work, business and works in a different way. It's a business specific solution, right? So building up a custom solution specific to the business to address all the problems is a difficult job. Therefore, in the old days, the success ratio for planning was 40-50%. It is 60-70%, our 70% these days, right? So problem with this, because if you don't understand the problem, how will you build a solution? So you need two things over here. Of course, you need to have a product knowledge, great product knowledge, what product can do, what it cannot do. In my view, it is, I don't consider this is a great skill nowadays. Okay. But the second skill you need about the the skill to understand the problem and map to the solution. First, you understand the problem, and then your solution should be, it should design in a planning in such a way that which exactly address those problems. There's one problem with this. Since Oracle is a smart company and Oracle has with Hyperion have got 25 years of experience, 25, and that to what type of customer? All big size customer, banking, Bank of America, SunTrust, Australian New Zealand Bank, Royal Bank of Scotland, Bank of Rwanda, all premium bank, investment banking, wholesale banking, cruise line, Carnival Cruise Line, aviation, Southwest America Airlines, manufacturing company, power sector, ETN, Eaton, you name, premium customer they handle. So company Oracle also learn for past 25 years, and Oracle build a solution that is they call best practice solution, right? And it applies to every industry, best practice solution, and based on the experience, what experience Oracle gain, okay, right? So this experience is called EPBCS or called planning module, or you can call pre-built solution. Now imagine you got a sofa set, you got this sofa set, right? But it was not a great, I mean, you did this 10 years before, your father did this, okay, 10 years before. But it was not a great product because it did not, the design was not exactly same what we wanted. And there's so much pain associated with this, trouble, pain, time taken, right? But nowadays, what is happening? You need a sofa set, you're a new generation customer, right? So now you have a choice. You can go to, there are pre-built, you can go to Urban Ladder, Amazon, or so many websites, and you can still buy a ready-made product. Ready-made sofa set is available. You still have a choice, right? When you buy this ready-made product, with still you have a choice. You can select your own, select fabric color, correct? You can select wooden color. What color do you need? Color of wood, right? Nature of wood, what type of wood. You are buying a ready-made product with some limited choice. You can buy it. EPBCS is the same thing. It's a ready-made product with limited choice. Okay. So under this, there are four. Now there are 6, 7 solutions. But primarily, I'm talking about four. What is the word? Focus of discussion. So any business in the world, any business, probably the smallest business you can assume in India is a pawn shop, cobbler shop, right? Every business in the world, grocery shop, they do financial planning. They don't have a sophisticated software, but at the end of the day, when you close your shop, you see the total sales you made, total revenue you get, your operating expenses. So any business in the world need a financial planning. Without that, they cannot operate. And financial planning, what do you do? Expense, profit planning, revenue planning. Then more sophisticated, you go for balance sheet planning. You do cash flow planning. Right? Do you ever surprise? Let me tell you the real life example. Jet Airways. When I was a new consultant, I mean, I used to travel to Jet Airways and Kingfisher Red. I was so much amazed looking in their services, especially this Kingfisher Red, right? I was so much amazed as a customer. Wow, so much good services we are getting. Okay. And it was hard for me. It was impossible for me to believe Kingfisher Airlines, right, which was so much profitable once upon a time. Jet Airways, which owned 176 plane. Do you heard that? 176 plane. And they used to operate from India to London, direct flight they started. Such a big, well-running company ran for 10 years, could go to financial distress, right? Such a big company, how come they go to financial distress? How come such company do not have money to pay employee salary? Can you imagine? They don't have money to pay employee salary. Or they fail to pay the electric bill. Such to why? Because somewhere they are weak at cash flow planning. For sure. Any business which fail, practically they don't have good cash flow planning. There are other factors as well. I'm not denying with it. This is important. So we do financial planning, right? Okay. Then we have there's a pre-built product for this. We have a financial workforce planning. Do you ever imagine, and for your surprise, let me know, the first time in the history in 2010, 2024, TCS headcount declined by 7%. They used to have 6,50,000, 54,000 employees. During COVID period, it is declined to 6,14,000. Do you ever surprise how come this company like TCS, Infosys, how come they're hiring company employees in bulk, 20,000, 30,000, 5,000? How do they do this, right? Is it an easy job? Go and hire people blindly? Are they stupid people blindly? And no, there is a very detailed analytics they do. Okay. So when you do hire, they need a system called workforce planning. They need to see payroll expenses. You must have heard a recent incident in Infosys. Infosys expelled some 300 employees from their campus. So there are various reasons behind. One of the important factor behind this is their cost associated with hiring this employee or the project they were expecting. The expected revenue did not arrive. They were expecting some revenue. It did not meet. So they're bound to expel or reduce their headcount. What all layoff is happening? All layoff, employee appraisal, everything. What technology? It's workforce planning. And every business in the world who are service based need a workforce planning. So all payroll planning, payroll, compensation, benefit, employee hiring, we do it at workforce planning. Then we have a capital expense planning. What is capital expense planning? I'll tell you again, interesting example. Suppose one day you got fed up, you're tired working into IT world. The day might have come or it will definitely come one day, inevitably. You fed up working with the IT world and you thought, oh, this is so troublesome job. I want to quit IT. Why? And I'm exploring some job. I'm exploring some business opportunity. So one idea came up in your mind. Oh, I should buy some cars and put it on a rent. Why don't I buy one house in Goa and put it on a rent in Airbnb? Or probably how buy one land in a Shimla, or maybe in Hyderabad and get one building, put it on a rental purpose. Did that idea come in your mind? If that idea comes in your mind, then capital expense planning will help you doing it. Capital expense, right? All we do asset planning over here. So when you buy any asset, definitely you like to know what is the profitability or revenue associated with this, right? So in asset planning, we do the same. Capital, expense, and revenue planning. I can tell you, guarantee, after this training program, technology is one aspect. Your level of maturity and understanding with finance will greatly increase. Greatly. And all the decision you do in your real life would be you can draw Excel based financial model and you do decision like this. Real life planning, you see. Then there's a planning called project financial planning, right? So project planning, all of you, right? Why project fail over project got stopped halfway through. You must have heard this word. The company doesn't have an adequate budget for a project or project stop halfway through, right? Or did not get funded because project timeline got delayed. So we talk about project financials, project planning plus financial. And I give you cumulative view of this. This is a cumulative view. Okay. I'm not drawing a Olympic picture. Okay, that is the image. I'm trying to help you visualize that the kind of job you do, it's highly value added. It is not just one software. So one module is called financial planning, right? Second part is your workforce planning. Third part is your capital expense planning. Okay. An intersection of these three is your project financial planning. Project financial planning, right? So financial planning is the pivotal or the center part of any kind of planning. Any business, they need a financial planning, right? So all the decision making, we do it over here. Decision making at enterprise level, right? So this is decision making for executive decision making. We do it over here. Workforce planning and capital expense planning are more departmental solution, right? Because workforce planning used by HR department, right? So this is more departmental solution. What all I'm showing you, it is not given in Oracle documentation, not at all. This is also departmental solution. How they speak to each other, this is also departmental solution. So with experience, I can tell you for sure, because I'm into sales, right? People who are into sales, I do communicate to vendors, one stream, and a plant, different vendors I speak day in, day out. For sure, I can tell you the way the maturity level of the product Oracle has with respect to providing integrated solution. No vendor is close to that. No vendor is close to that. What I'm trying to say. Integrated solution. Now look at this. When you hire an employee, right? When employee compensation gets processed, everything at the end of the day is a finance, right? So how? This is your workforce expenses, should I write? Workforce expenses pertaining to salary, benefits, payroll, whatever you do, it impact your financials. How it impact to financial? How workforce planning impacts to financial. This is what business wanted. How capital expense planning? You can, after this training program, you can do really, you can prepare a plan for yourself. If you like to quit IT and probably do some other alternate job, you can do planning in Excel and decide on your own, right, whether you should do this job or not. From a financial point of view, I can talk about that. So asset related expenses. Right? Suppose you buy a house and put it on a rent. What expense you need to incur? Of course, you have, may not be in India, but of course in foreign, you have insurance expense, you have maintenance expense, you have repair expense, you have taxation, and you have depreciation. How this expense is going to impact your financials. And project financial planning is the intersection of all of them. What is project financial planning? Now you are into construction business, right? And you are doing a job. What is your job? Let's say you're constructing a highway, or between New Delhi and Mumbai, right? To do this job, what you need? For sure, you need finance, right? Finance. You need manpower. You need people, which is called labor. Labor come from where? Labor come from workforce planning. Then you need equipment, right? You need machinery, equipment, and machines. From where it come? It come from capex, and you need material. So that is what I'm going to show you. So technical and functional different job roles. Uh, this is a pre-built template, right? But at any point of time, you need to write custom business logic. I'm giving a very big picture. You're a technical consultant, right? Obviously, you are going to do data acquisition, but your primary responsibility is custom business logic, which is program or script, right? Custom business logic. You are going to work with data transformation job, data acquisition, data massaging, testing. This is what all you're going to do. But you have a functional or techno-functional job, right? Let's say you are not great at programming, right? You still have to be excellent in creating user stories, right? Again, you are not reinventing wheel. What you're doing, Oracle planning, this is my definition, is a replacement of Excel-based planning. That's it. That the one who learned this art become a consultant. Otherwise, people claim they are consultant honestly, and unfortunately, there's severe skill shortage, severe. So you are the guy you prepare user story. You are a bridge between business and technology. You are a business and technology, right? You are the guy who do user accept testing. You are the guy who run conference room pilot. It depends upon what level of your maturity of your career is. If you're a senior guy, you will be doing this job. The little relatively less experienced guy, probably more aligned to technical tasks. Okay. So that's it. Last thing is this, my training program, how it is going to add value. Okay. The first thing in training program, we are solving use cases. You don't need any training. Again, I'm saying upfront, I'm saying this. There's absolute no need for training to learn planning as a tool. There's no need. You go to YouTube and learn tool, but there's no use of it as well. Because if you're appearing for interview, people don't ask you how to do this job. As a mature consultant will not ask. Because it's not required. You go to Oracle, you go to documentation. It's not test of your memory. People are interested what project you built. How did you solve the problem? So we talk about all. I talk about failures. I did a lot of mistakes, right? No one tell you the failure story. I'll tell you failure stories. What did I do wrong? I'll tell you what solution we built, unique solution. How did we build the solution? We talk about problem statement, dead end, failures, so many things. We'll talk about all this over here. This is your takeaway. So the kind of use case I'm going to give it to you. You practice them. Let's say you practice for 6 months. Right? There's so much, so huge, massive material. You practice 6 months, 2, 3 hour, 1 hour. What somebody would learn minimum in 5 years, minimum, that is equal to my use case is equal to 5 years experience. In 5 years of your career, I'm a facilitator. I'm easing your learning curve, okay? Solving use cases. And because we are Oracle partner, we'll give you Oracle Cloud Access, Cloud Access. Okay. These use cases are video tutorial, Excel program, problem statement, all these things, is use cases. So our focus is completely on solving problem. So Oracle Cloud Access, we'll give you 2 months of cloud access. Okay. And I give you templates. For you, it's just one Excel, right? But for me, I spend years, decade to prepare this template. For example, I give you how to capture user requirement, capture workforce planning requirement, or FAQs, right? See how to run CRP in workforce planning. There's one Excel template. For you, it's just one Excel sheet, but we build this after many failures and implementation, successful implement. So that is important takeaway for you. Huh? So I don't claim I'm going to do some miracle for you. Something will happen overnight. After this training program, you become expert overnight. This is not going to happen. Please don't make this expectation. Don't think this is going to happen. The industry is very demanding these days on one hand, very demanding. On another hand, there's serious scarcity of good people because still people have same mindset. They come with typical technical developer mindset. They learn how to use tool and they think they are consultant. Developer and consultant are different skill. You are into advisory role, right? So the my way of training and my training program is very mature. Advice, how do you give advice to a customer? So I'll give you push and facilitate you, and the more time you spend, the more you do it. But one thing is sure, I cannot claim you can continue to be working in your Oracle product only. But the rest of your life, if you genuinely spend time, whatever your career span in 20, 30 years, may not be more than 30 years, you can, rest of your life, you can continue working to EPM ecosystem. They are so much, and they're heart of the business, correct? Right. So that's what all I want to communicate. I overrun by 3 minutes. I open for your question if you have any. I did not go too much technical, right? And my objective is just give you big picture. So probably like to know a little more technical about it. Followed by the class, my colleague will give you a couple of more videos. You can go through that and get more technicality of the product. Open for your question if you have any.
Amit, do we have uh, infra training as well for EPBCS? Or is it included in it in this course?
Correct. That is included. So as I mentioned, this is part of training is PBCS and EPBCS. And I mentioned over here,
Oh,
probably highlight that once again.
oh,
We're
thank you.
talking about all three cases: implementation, support, and migration. Some of them live, some of them self-paced, and we are going to learn PBCS and EPBCS. The scope of our discussion. What all you see in this
Okay, that
scope
means
of our
in
training.
infra also it is included, right? Yeah,
Yeah.
infra activities also it is included, right?
Which activity?
Infra
No,
side.
infra is completely out of discussion.
Okay, okay.
We are into cloud, right?
Yeah,
Those are
correct.
days are gone. There's nothing infra. We're
Okay,
only on cloud.
okay. Okay, understood. Okay, thank you.
Those days are gone. All infrastructure we managed by Oracle.
Okay. If in case any utilization related issues, if in case anything comes, whether that can be handled through this cloud environment directly, automatically, or else do we need it to be get into this?
Yeah, I put you in one simple line. When you buy a cloud license,
Mhm.
Oracle is officially responsible to handle all infrastructure. Oracle, you raise a ticket, Oracle is taking money from you for the same job. So Oracle will
Okay,
take care of it.
okay, okay.
Backup, recovery,
Mhm.
uh, maintenance, patching, load balancing, everything, whatever you did, probably did in the past, that is to be
Okay,
done by Oracle.
okay,
Your
okay,
focus would continue to be only in application and solutioning.
okay, okay. Thank you. Thank-
Yeah, hi Amit.
Hi, yeah.
Yeah, this is Ravi. I just want to know if a person from commerce background, which role he can took in this TPM as a techno or a functional could be taken.
Well, it's as I said, right? From which, what is your background? If you're a typical software developer guy, then you could be a technical consultant, right? Probably if you have 4, 5 years of experience, you are technical. But if you're 10-year experience guy, then I suggest you to be opting a techno-functional job role. Because naturally, 10 years is a big time. You understand the industry, whichever industry you're working for, IT, right? You understand. People expect you to be contributing as a techno-functional job role, driving the show, doing UATs and all this stuff. On the other hand,
Okay.
if you're a typical, not an IT guy, probably into support job role, you have been accountant, ERP consultant, then you go for more inclined to business, techno-functional. Probably you're not writing a program and all this stuff, but you will be communicating with business. You'd create a user story. So it's very subjective to the past experience you have. You can align yourself according to the underlying job role.
Yeah.
And as you go through the
Uh,
training, sorry, I interrupted you. As you go through the
yeah, no
training,
worries.
automatically you understand the kind of job you have been doing for past many years, what your job is mapped to, which kind of job, I mean your existing skill is best fit for what kind of job role you do in planning. You'll get to know automatically as you proceed step by step.
Oh, okay. मेरा background है CA, so I think it's functional side is best, right?
Probably you can speak to me one to one. What is your existing career alignment? I can in turn guide you through beyond that.
Okay.
It's very generic, right? Become very generic.
Okay. And what about this calculation manager? Is it a coding related or
Yes, it's a
can you
calculation
go through
and
that?
calculation. Manager is coding related, which I call writing business logics, the one term I used.
Oh, okay.
We are running short of time. I prepared a lot of cases. I couldn't show it to you. Okay. Tons of cases for Kelvin, tons of cases. I've been a programmer for some very complicated activities, as a product development meeting. I am a programmer for IFRS 16 lease accounting. These are example of calculation you guys are going to go through. So their day-by-day plan, which I send across to you, followed by this meeting, what topic to be taught on which date, what all come under PBCS, EPBCS, what are the list of business rule and cases you're going to solve. Very, very comprehensive list. I'll give it to you.
Amit, one more question I have. Data management also, is it cover in this course, or else do we need to be learned separate?
Come again, which one?
Data management I'm talking about.
Data management, yes,
FDM.
we have data integration, how to acquire data from flat file, and we have integration with Fusion, HCM, and NetSuite. 1, 2 live class and 2, 3 use cases we have. NetSuite, Fusion integration, and flat file integration. We will talk about that.
Okay. And the scripting side also, is it covered in it, or else Groovy scripting or something it is there, right?
Which one? Groovy script?
Groovy scripting.
No, Groovy scripts basically understand this way. This is too much. The training program, what I teach you, requires 6 months of time to practice. 6 months.
Okay,
If I
understood.
add more, it becomes too much to absorb.
Okay.
What we do, anybody who like to learn Groovy script on top of that, there are 2 options. Option number 1, I can give you self-paced learning stuff. Use cases, you can solve this. Option number 2, after this training program, you want to go for more advanced, you can go for Groovy script-based training exclusively.
Okay.
Self-paced or driven by trainer, it's your choice. Self-paced is free of cost. I'll send it to you. You think you have a time and energy, do it on your own. You can do it on your own.
Okay, thank you. That means you're going to be share the videos. It will be covered in it, right?
Which one?
Groovy related some stuff we are going to be
No,
share.
Groovy, I'm not talking about that.
Okay,
Groovy, I'm
okay.
not talking about this.
Okay.
Groovy, I'll give you for self-paced.
Okay.
Like you want to do post-graduation, you're bound to do graduation first, then you post-graduation.
Understood.
Graduation course, I cannot teach you post-graduation.
Understood.
There's an adaptability issue. Too much to absorb. You will see too much to absorb, right?
Yeah, understood. Yeah. Thank you.
I mean, my training is not just go through and show them how the tool works. I don't just show you navigation. Again, there's no value. Behind every option, I'll tell you the story, business story behind that. This is where most of my energy and time will consume. Technically, you can do this job in 2 minutes, but my 1 hour session, technically 2 minutes, but I spend 1 hour doing the same job.
Okay, thanks. Great to hear that.
All right. Any more question? Perfect. So no question. You guys have good weekend. You still have any question, probably aligned to your specific to your career, probably you can drop a message to my WhatsApp. You can reach out to Mohit. I'll be only addressing technical question, not related to commercials, fees and all. Okay, for that, you can reach to Mohit. Any career advice you need, genuinely, you can reach out to me. You go for this course or not, material, but I'll give you genuine advice.
Amit, that hands-on lab is there, no? That exercise, is it done parallelly in the course?
Which one?
We need to do that hands-on lab cases are there, right? In the Excel you see, last you.
So right after each training program, I'll show you 100 live. Right after each class, I'll give you some exercises or homework to do it. So since it is up to you, depends upon your availability, you do it when you want.
Yeah, I understand.
Any more question, guys? Or we close for the day? Perfect. So you guys have good weekend and we meet in regular classes. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.